Okay, so welcome to our podcast. This is a little bit different today because this podcast is a spin-off of our radio show. Okay, wait, so we're rolling, but I'm going to talk about everything. But first, I want to talk about your whoop because you got to fix your whoop. Look at your whoop.
Oops.
How often do you take off your whoop? Whoops.
You know, it's funny. I wear it for things I probably shouldn't wear it for. Mm-hmm. I want to measure everything, right? I think I'm a measurement freak. I want to, to measure success, you've got to have some sort of like tools involved because you and I chat a lot, through Instagram back and forth, which is pretty funny with our talking about our whoop scores and sleep 8 and all that stuff. But even with jiu-jitsu, so I do jiu-jitsu, and even with jiu-jitsu, I actually wear whoop underwear. Have you seen that?
Yeah, my son has it.
Yeah, so I put the thing in here and so I measure everything. I try never to take it off.
You just had it off.
Well, I changed on hands.
Oh, you put it on different hands?
Yeah, I put it on this hand. It was on my left. I don't know why my watch was on backwards earlier. And
what are you, a disaster?
I'm a mess, man. I just got done filming the TV show. Listen, I got 4 episodes in today for the different, because we have a bunch of different markets. We're in Phoenix, Vegas, Portland, Vancouver, Washington, same market.
I'm one of those markets. How many times we should be doing stuff in those markets?
We're about to have those conversations. So I know my guy is right now handling all that stuff behind the scenes today.
For the iHeart thing?
Yeah. But you and I need to figure out, because I don't know where iHeart begins and you end and vice versa, right?
Well, this has nothing to do with iHeart, except for maybe it's running on iHeart. No offense. I mean, I hope it's all good. But like for me, I never take this whoop off. And the other day I went to an event and I wanted to wear my watch. I have a small collection of nice watches. I like watches a lot. And I was going to go, because a watch would go on this arm, right? And I was like, I never even thought about putting the whoop over here. I was like, forget it. I'm just not going to wear a watch. You just switch arms.
I've always wear them both.
Wow. Are you the one that told me the watch thing? No, who told me that?
What's that?
Somebody told me a watch, because he was like, why do you need a watch? You got your phone. And they're like, this tells time. Who told me this? This tells time. This tells a story. Somebody told me that. A watch guy told me that.
Here's the thing. Watches are a rabbit hole that I'm trying to escape from here.
I did.
It's one of those things that, listen, man, I come from nothing. I came raised essentially by a single mom, through much of my kind of older childhood. I think that sometimes when you start to see some success, it's easy to attach to things, right? And personal items and watches are one of those rabbit holes that, I've never cared much about. But it's one of those things where, hey, when somebody makes an offer to you to say, hey, here's this special watch that you can buy and let's make up a number. Hey, this is a $10,000 watch, but you pay $10,000 for it, but if you sell it today, you can get $25,000 for it, right? There's, we have a pretty special relationship with, and I don't know who your sponsors are, but Hamra is who I deal with over there. Who? Yeah.
Jeff Hamra, yeah.
So Hamra to me is unbelievable.
He's the best.
Dan's my guy over there, but Jeff may be cooler than Dan, but they've made things available to me. He's just a fantastic relationship. And so when someone says, here's this thing that is ungettable publicly, but we're going to give it
usually at Hamra.
Yeah.
They have stuff that nobody else can get.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And so you figure, hey, if times get tough, I can always sell my watch for twice what I paid for it. Hopefully I don't ever face those times again, but
what watch is that? What kind of watch is that?
This is a Patek Philippe.
Oh yeah,
very
it's nice.
$59.90, so it's a steel watch. It's one of those kind of holy grail, hard to get things that they made available, which was awesome. Like,
Did you get it from Hamra?
I did.
So when you did you go to the new place?
I did. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. When you walk in there and to the left is the paddock part.
Yeah.
And to the right is the Rolex part.
Yeah.
And it's this beautiful, like 2-story, 3-story in the back. They've got, it's unbelievable.
Yeah. They've treated me incredibly well beyond any sort of spending I do there. So yeah, no, it's great.
Well, that's great, man. So when you say you were brought up with single mom, what is part of that story? Because I think you and I have similar stuff.
Yeah, so it's interesting. I was raised in a classical, family, the nuclear family here, had mom and dad and everything. And, it's funny, I don't talk much about this, but I'll talk about it here. I had a dad who went to prison. My junior year of high school for a crime that was tough to deal with as a kid. And it's one of those things that crushes people to hear about their father. It's not one of those glorious crimes like, oh, my dad was a mobster. My dad was it was terrible. And, and it did a lot of damage, to me personally, mentally. My mom, who is, oh my gosh, my rock. I mean, to have survived that. And I mean, she's, my dad left her in a position that was interesting, and this all kind of circles back to what I do professionally. But my dad left my mom hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. He lived a weird life, man. It was really weird. I grew up with a dad who never had a driver's license, never registered his cars. And so when I was driving with my dad, and by the way, that life had nothing to do with his crimes, which were completely different thing. But when I sat shotgun for my dad, I literally had to look for police cars entering the freeway and exiting. And
like he would tell you that?
Yeah. Well, that's what you did. Right? I mean, it's just a thing. And so if a cop was coming, he had this perfect dance of dancing around semi trucks so that cops could never get behind him. So this like hypervigilance, right? Like this, hey, I see everything that's going on around me has just been the way I am. Like I'm just a hypervigil. I tend not to miss things, details, being raised where every detail mattered. Like if we didn't see that, my dad would, he never had insurance. He never,
what did he do for a living?
Well, he owned a tree service. Okay. And the problem is, as a landscaper or tree guy, these guys, they never paid their taxes. Right. He owed hundreds of thousands of dollars in taxes. And I say this in this kind of mixed-hearted way where my dad going to prison, as much damage as it did, it was a blessing. Mm-hmm. And I hate to say that, and I don't want my mom to hear that. And I know she's a fan of yours, but it was a blessing because had that not happened, this cascade of other things that went on in my life would never have happened either. And so my mom she worked for an oral surgeon in La Jolla, and you could never use profanity around her. And her boss used the F word to her, and to her, that was just, you don't go there. Right. And he did. And my mom says, if you do that again, I'm leaving. Well, she left. She quit after he cursed her out. And ironically, my dad sent my mom to massage school because he's pretty selfish SOB, Mm-hmm. And my mom did massage. Well, coincidentally, right as my mom had quit, a man opened a gym in La Jolla called Club La Jolla. A man who is an unbelievable human being. He was actually really famous for a while for being an attorney for the mafia. And Alan was being portrayed in the movie Casino as Mr. Green. And they made him look weak in the movie, but in the book, it was really a neat portrayal of him. But anyways, he gave him a chance. He was opening this kind of gym for his trophy wife, saying, hey, I'm going to open this 5-star gym in La Jolla, Berber carpet, amazing. We need a massage therapist, a day spa. So they gave my mom a shot. And she went from, struggling to building this unbelievable business, being the best of the best. Clients like Oprah, clients like Barbara Streisand, and, Junior Seau became one of our clients, and Junior, was like a son to her. And, I don't know if you know the story of Junior Seau, but he was one of my mom was one of the last people he said goodbye to before he took his life. And, that's how meaningful he was or she was in his life. And my mom's just one of those very special people who you can talk to without judgment, who just people trusted, right? Mm-hmm. People loved. But she went from being hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt, paying off all my dad's nonsense, to having a paid off house in La Jolla. She now lives here in Arizona with us. She's cursing me out right now in the summertime as this heat gets so crazy.
But when she becomes a massage therapist, how old are you?
Well, I was 10th grade, 11th grade in high school. Uh-huh. And it was 11th grade is when she started working for this place.
And when did your dad go to prison? How old were you?
11th grade.
11th grade.
And
where'd you go to high school?
Southeast San Diego.
What school?
Really tough part of town. I actually went to performing arts school. It's called San Diego School of Creative and Performing Arts. A lot of kids went to Juilliard, a lot of artists. I was a very mediocre musician, horn player.
I think Jimmy Fox went there, didn't he?
He didn't go to our school.
Are you sure? I'm almost, I feel like I remember.
I think he may have gone. I know like Mario Lopez went to Chula Vista. Down, which was another performing arts school. I knew Mario pretty well. Just saw him at a jiu-jitsu tournament. He didn't recognize me, so I hate that. Yeah. I wasn't a big deal. No, Mario's a great guy. Right. I have a great experience with him.
So your dad goes to prison. Mm-hmm. At the time he goes to prison, your mom and dad are married.
Just to be clear, I'll clear up the noise. He went to prison for molesting a girl.
Oh, God.
That went to my high school. That was a next door neighbor. And so just imagine the damage that does to you as a kid, hearing that about your father and your mother and all that stuff. So, it was rough. It was horrible.
You have brothers and sisters?
Yeah. And he took it. I have one brother and he took it incredibly hard.
Older or younger?
1 year older.
Oh, he took it hard. Wow.
Yeah, it was tough.
How long did your dad stay in prison, or is he still there? Is he still around?
He's passed away. It's interesting because when he somehow, and first of all, I had no real guidance in high school. I had terrible grades as a high school student because my parents, none of them went to college. It wasn't really a thing. But all my good friends took off to college. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, everyone's leaving me behind here. What am I doing? And I remember visiting Berkeley, where my best friend was at. And I fell in love with the campus, and at the time it was the #1 public university in the world. And I remember sitting on Sproul Hall, which was like this, where the center of the civil rights movement happened, right? All of the civil rights marches. And I was like, man, I'm going to come here one day. And I remember listening to this Marky Mark song, Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. Remember them?
Do I remember them? Which song? I know I have 2 of his albums.
Man, it's so
You Gotta Believe? Was it You Gotta Believe, or was it a Good Vibrations? Good
Vibrations, yeah. And he's like, I'll be a chemical engineer making $90,000 to $95,000 a year, or whatever that went. And ironically, my friend was a chemical engineer at Berkeley. And I just felt like this song was like speaking to me. And I do a lot of business in Vegas, have some offices there. I'm gonna thank him, because I think that somehow Mark Wahlberg, who's also friends with Mario, has some weird like connection to why I went there. And so I went from being a terrible high school student, went to community college, was able to restart my academic story. Nobody knew me.
Where'd you go to community college?
Southwestern College in Chula Vista.
Okay.
Somehow,
so then after that, you were able to get into Berkeley.
Figured out my way into Berkeley.
That's crazy. That's expensive too.
Well, it was public. I was an in-state, so it wasn't. So it wasn't bad. It was actually pretty inexpensive. Most of it was covered with scholarships and grants, need-based grants, because we had no money. Mm-hmm. My mom was still paying off tons of debt from my dad, but at that time, and but I figured it out. And
so you go to Berkeley and you're able to, with scholarships and a job, pay for rent. pay for tuition. And how old are you now at this time?
Gosh,
22?
so I was a little old because I transferred as a junior.
Right.
So, I was the junior inside the freshman dorm. So I was.
Wow, man, that's tough.
And yeah, it's interesting because I went to performing arts school and all my guy friends thought it was funny. A lot of my friends that went to big, real high schools would make fun of me. So I decided, I'm going to go walk onto an athletic team. And I walked onto two teams, the crew team and the rugby team. Mm-hmm. And crew really resonated with me. I know you have a history in crew as well. I was
on the crew team at San Diego State.
Yeah. And I was able to make our team at Cal at Berkeley and, won a Pac-10 championship.
Jeez, man. But also because we've talked about this before, your mom or your dad, one of them's Mexican, right?
My mom.
Your mom. My mom's Mexican too.
Yeah. She didn't speak English as a kid.
Neither did mine.
It's funny is people will see my name on my diploma or my name, like in jiu-jitsu, Brazilians use your middle name first for some reason. And, my full name is Stewart Alejandro Willis Sanchez.
Oh, wow.
And people are like, why are you whitewashing your name? You're doing this to sound white. What is wrong with you? And I'm like, no, man, it's just never been how I've been called, And so it's a big, people think it's funny. They don't actually know, my story, and I don't always talk about it. I mean, but yeah, my mom didn't speak English until she was like 10 years old. She lived in an adobe house with 10 other of her siblings, that when it was one square adobe room, and when they had more kids, they added another one, then another one. And so to get out of the house, you had to go through the parents' bedroom because it was like a caterpillar arrangement where no kids could sneak out because they had bars on the windows. It's a terrible place in Albuquerque, New Mexico. But yeah, she grew up with nothing, but I had the greatest time spending summers in Albuquerque with my family, barbecuing or roasting green chili and piñones. And, that's how they made their living.
So when did your dad die? Did he die in prison?
He didn't. I actually delayed my walking of graduation from Berkeley so that he could see me graduate, and walk. So he spent, I think, about 7 years in prison. And, I was able to delay a semester or so because I was going to go to law school and I was, adding some additional time there, but I was able to delay a semester and have him watch me walk.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah. So to me, that was meaningful. Listen, I have this love-hate relationship with him, right? Hate what he did to the family, hate what he did to my mom, hate what he did to the victim. But, honestly, he was a good dad if you take all the pretty bad stuff out of the equation.
Yeah. So he watches you graduate. Does he get sick? Does he get murdered? Does he get in a car accident?
Yeah. So, it's in prison, health declines badly. You're not well taken care of. His diet was terrible. He, his health was just horrible. He had triple bypass, oh, wow. And he just, he ended up having some strokes and some heart issues, and it didn't make it. It was a couple years after he got out, Okay. Yeah. So, and he never really got to see, I think the one thing I miss is that, like, I don't have that guy that I can, share that stuff with. He never got to see me, get to where I am, wherever that is.
Well, graduating Berkeley is a pretty badass thing too.
It's all relative, man. Like it's once you accomplish one thing, you feel like, hey, it's time to move on to the next and to do some other cool stuff. And I think, it's been an interesting story to go in.
Well, let me jump around a lot.
Yeah.
I do a lot of ADHD stuff.
That's all good.
Let me jump to right now. So what do you do for a living now?
So I'm a financial advisor. I'm an owner or a partner at a company called Asset Preservation Wealth and Tax. We are a wealth management company, manage a couple $1 billion in the market, about $1 billion outside of that. We oversee the wealth of, hundreds of families, both here in town. In Phoenix, we have 5 offices, a couple offices in Vegas, a couple in Portland, Vancouver.
There's 5 offices here?
Yeah.
Well, how come you can't have just one office here? Why do you have to have 5?
People don't want to drive that far. Listen, what I've realized about Arizona is this, if you open an office in Scottsdale, people from the West Valley will go there. People from Scottsdale will not go to the West Valley.
That's true.
My office was in Surprise, our original office. And so we opened a Scottsdale office and it multiplied. We have our TV show, the Asset Preservation Hour, and it's gotten a tremendous response. People have been watching it for years, and, we'll drive. I mean, we have people that drive 5 hours from the Indian reservations, for example, to come to see us. Right. But I think the more convenient you make it to have a conversation, the easier it is. The more difficult you make it to get to your advisor, the less likely those conversations happen. And I think communication is everything.
Go ahead.
No, there's a reason that all my personal financial clients have my personal cell phone number.
Right.
So 7 days a week they can reach me. Pisses off my wife.
Do you get downtime? I hope you turn off your phone for this interview.
It's on Do Not Disturb, but it's one of those things where I think in our industry, in our world, when the world's changing so fast with this crazy political environment of volatility, sometimes people need answers and they want to know that, hey, I can reach my guy and not have to talk to levels of assistance first.
So, can we dumb it down? How do you dumb that down when you say wealth management? Do you have to be wealthy for you to handle somebody? What's the spectrum? What's the income of somebody? Because maybe there's is there a 19-year-old that can come see you if they're not a famous influencer that has millions of dollars? Can you be a 22-year-old that's getting out of college? Do you have to be a 50-year-old? Like, what's the spectrum? Yeah.
So what our company specializes in is tax planning in addition to wealth planning. So the demographic of our company has certainly changed, and we try not to forget where we came from, and, but to us, I have a pretty simple rule. I don't do business with people I don't like. And we don't establish a minimum. A lot of companies will say you have to have $250,000 or $500,000 or $1 million. And I don't do that because it all goes back to, to my mom, right? Like my mom needed help and had, Alan not reached out to my mom and given her an opportunity and given her guidance. And she had some mentors along the way that guided her. Had they not done that, she wouldn't be where she is. And now she's retired comfortably, has a paid off house here in Scottsdale, $1 million in the bank. She's killed it and like incredibly proud of what she's accomplished.
But you'll take somebody like that.
Oh, of course.
If there's a 30-year-old single mom that's making even $40,000 a year or less.
Even more so, yes.
So they can come to you and say, Stewart, can you help me? This is what what do I do? And then what do you do? Do you take their money and go, hey, let's invest it in Snapchat? Let's invest.
We listen. I think what separates us from others is a lot of times when you're sitting with an advisor, they're picking these stocks. They're saying, I like this stock or this bond or this mutual fund. We do it differently. We use external money managers so that what if the guy, let's say that you're my financial advisor and you're betting, because remember, buying stocks and bonds, you're betting it's going up when someone else is betting it's going down. But I ask you this one question. What if you're wrong? I'm going to bet my whole life savings that your view of the world is right. Right? We live in a couple concurrent realities right now. If you watch Fox News, you see the world one way. If you watch CNN, you're on two different planets right now. There's two concurrent realities happening, right?
Right.
News is interpreted politically now.
I don't even know where to go to get my news now, man, because I don't. But you're right.
It's hard, but I use the same premise for finance. What if they're wrong? Because somebody's wrong. So what we do is use multiple money managers that use multiple points of view. Diversification, everybody knows, never have all your eggs in one basket. What we do differently is not just a diversification of your investments, but a diversification of perspectives, multiple points of view in your portfolio. And most people could never accomplish that. They don't have enough money. If you have a $200,000, you don't have enough money to have multiple money managers, right? If teachers have the worst financial advice of all of them because they're dealing with financial advisors that are dealing with somebody that makes $40,000 a year. How is that advisor going to make a living off of you? Well, with very expensive investments, mutual funds, annuities, things like that just pay them, and it's parasitic. So what we've done is been able to create an environment where someone who's done their job, put savings away, they have a couple $100,000. They can have multiple money managers. We have the biggest money manager in the world. Some people, conservatives, don't like them, BlackRock, right? We use multiple others, but they all see the world differently. So if one gets it wrong, it doesn't sink the whole ship. It reduces the likelihood that they all get it wrong together. And the reason we do it and other people's don't is because it costs us a lot of money to do it that way. But, I'm paying about 30 basis points, 0.3% to our money managers. And I don't usually say that. I don't know why I just did. But, at $2 billion, I'm paying $6 million a year to money managers.
Right.
I could hire a guy down the hall for a few $100,000 and save millions of dollars.
Right.
I don't want the guy down the hall.
Because these guys are better.
I want the best in the world.
Right. And that's BlackRock.
Well, they're one of them. There's a reason they're big.
Because you just can't call BlackRock and do it
yourself. If you have $1 billion,
you
can.
$1 billion, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, so it allows people access to really good money management in a diverse way, and I'm willing to pick up the cost, and I'm in it for the long game. This isn't me trying to get rich today. It's trying to build a company that's different, that really is comprehensive, and that treats people like human beings. I think that's the important thing. I'm very much the reason I can leave my phone on all the time and people have access to me 7 days a week is, I truly do not do business, won't do business with people I don't like.
So you've actually met somebody and not liked them and said, eh.
Oh, for sure.
Really?
Oh.
Or do you hand them to a different person in your building, in your company, or you just...
It depends. It all depends. If someone is bad chemistry or a bad person, I don't need the money bad enough to hang out with people I don't like.
So give me an example of somebody that you passed without saying their name. What was the experience?
Yeah. So, I remember we had a client a couple of years ago come in and, listen, I don't sit with first appointments anymore with new clients. I mean, there has to be a relationship or hey, this is my buddy, but I just remember the guy, he had a couple $1 million and when he came in, he's like, listen, I heard what you said on the show. You don't do business with people you don't like, but that doesn't matter here. Obviously, I've got a couple $1 million. You're going to want to manage this thing. And this is what I'm expecting from you. And, immediately when you make everything about money, I just have no interest in it. Right.
So you're
dude, I just don't. Why would I want you hang out with one person? They can destroy your day, man. You know what I mean? One bad apple, right?
Right.
I just don't need it. And honestly, it's paid off because people look at me and they're like, Stewart, you're crazy. You work 7 days a week sometimes. And, now maybe, 5.5, but, I've been working, but I'm surrounding myself with people I enjoy. So I don't care, right? I mean, it's look at your crew. I've seen how you've kept your crew together for a long time.
I got a great crew.
But, it looks like you guys are just hanging out, enjoying each other.
We are. It's true.
Right. Yeah. And so there's a point where, yes, it's work and that's how you get paid. But at the end of the day, when you make it enjoyable, don't forget, I don't get it twisted. I make money.
Right.
Right. But I do it with people I enjoy.
That's the best part. One of the best parts.
That's it.
I come into work sometimes, I drive in, it's dark outside, and I get so excited to come to work. It's crazy. It's really a high for me still.
I'm in this really interesting position where we're going through this, I wanted to pause for a little while in terms of the growth of our company, just so we can get operations underway and more efficiencies built in and so forth. But man, opportunities keep coming up. The other day, we opened up our television show to Reno, Nevada. And I mean, the response is crazy. Colorado Springs.
I'm on there too.
Yeah. I mean,
so your TV show though. So you do this it's like an infomercial, not an info. It's like a. But it's like a newscast. I've watched it before. But are you asking people to call in to sign up? So if somebody's in Reno watching it, and they're making $60,000 a year, and they go, I got 10 grand. Can you do something with my 10 grand?
Yeah.
Will you take it?
Yeah. So
you hand it to a rookie.
Well, see, that's the thing is once again, our advisors are top advisors. They're not like starter guys that are learning the business. These are guys that I've intentionally recruited that have years and years in the business that are, that are best of class in all of their industries. But the advisors we deal with, I can't personally take on. I mean, you're talking about
right. So do you hire?
Yeah, we have other advisors.
If somebody's watching from Reno and just, hey, this guy looks honest, let me call his company. And you have a guy that's just like, I remember when I was in radio sales and you get the mom and pop shops. So someone's got to handle it.
Yeah. It's interesting because what we've done is we've pivoted the TV show from me having a host and me being the guest on there talking to, I now host the shows, and all of the advisors are the ones that are working in that market. So for example, in Phoenix, you get to pick who you're dealing with because you're seeing them. You're like, hey, I vibe with that guy, or I like that girl, or I like, and because once again,
but you'll take anybody, no matter their income level, no matter what they have.
You can
make something work.
There are minimums to being able to invest money, right. But we will sit with anybody to have the conversation. What we do, and sometimes the conversation is like, hey, this is what you need to do at your employer right now. Because let's say the 30-year-old comes in and they're like, look, I'm just trying to get started. I've been watching your show and we can't manage their money or even if we could, it oftentimes doesn't make sense because if you're working at an employer and that employer has a 4 or 5 or 6% match, I'm not going to match their money, right? I'm not putting so you'd be forfeiting free money by me saying, hey, put it with me in an IRA rather than your 401k at work. And there's other reasons 401ks.
But you'll give them advice and guide them through that?
Absolutely.
What's the biggest payoff you've ever had?
Client-wise?
Yeah, the most successful turnaround. Like you ever had somebody that was just with nothing and you turned them around?
So I think the most relevant story that I keep telling my advisors, because here's what I don't want. I don't want prima donnas that are too cool for the client, right? Mm-hmm. Like, oh, I'm the fancy rich advisor. And our guys are very, very successful. But I always go back to the one story where I have a client that's been with us. She was at our surprise office for years, and her stepson, he was a guy who fixed pools, like the tile on pools. And he would come in and first she asked, hey, can you talk to him? He doesn't have a ton of money. He had $40,000 or so and wanted help investing. And obviously I treated him with dignity and respect. And I'm very blue collar myself, my roots. And he came in and we treat him well and had a great time. Because once again, I won't talk to you if I don't like. If you're a jerk, I'm not having the conversation. Well, fast forward 3 years later, his wife inherits $14 million and turns into like this great, huge client, right? And
the pool guy's wife,
the pool guy's wife,
$14 million. Okay.
Yeah. Now that's taken an interesting turn because right after they inherited the money, he gets hit by a bus and she develops a pretty crazy illness. But so life can play cruel tricks on you too. Right. But it shows my advisors, leave somebody, even if you can't help them, leave them with a great memory saying, hey, I didn't just brush you out 10 minutes later. Cause I was seeing that. I started seeing a couple advisors that were taking 15-minute appointments. They literally set aside 90 minutes for an appointment. They'd be in and out in 15 minutes. And there's nothing you can do in 15 minutes where you're treating people well. If you're having you're not even uncovering anything. How can I help? Why are you here?
Is the pool guy still with you guys?
Absolutely.
Have you taken the $14 million and done something with it?
100%. Yeah.
So that $14 million is worth how much now?
Gosh, I mean, this happened about 1.5 years, 2 years ago. Well, first of all, they just, bought an amazing house. Their money listen, I can't take all the credit for it because the market has been extremely favorable to them doing well. But, their money's worth a lot more today than it was, when they started. And it's all based on your risk tolerance, because there's also a certain part of your life where you say, hey, I've already won the game. I want to take the least amount of risk necessary to win. That's true. Right? Like, why would you keep gambling all your chips on the table when you've already won? Yeah. Right. There's a certain time where you take those chips off and you say, I'm willing to gamble this portion, but this other portion needs to be fixed and safe and more methodical. If
they said to you, hey, we're going to go buy all these fancy cars and all this stuff, would you say, hey, Don't do that. That's not smart.
Well, listen, man, everybody has goals and dreams, and my job isn't to establish a dream, it's to achieve it, right? And some of them are terrible dreams or terrible ideas, right? The people who really mess it up are people who inherit money. In fact, we just did our TV show, today, filming the TV show on mistakes people make with inheritances. And oftentimes 3 years later, there's no sign of an inheritance whatsoever. So what we've done is we've started having conversations with our clients to involve the next generation now. They don't need to know how much money their parents have, because I think that's a whole nother Pandora's box, right? Hey, if all of a sudden, Dutch sees that, hey, I've got, daddy's money coming, I don't need to do anything myself.
I already had that meeting. He doesn't touch anything until he's 30.
Yeah. See, there you go. Right.
Right.
But they may be able to rest and depend on, I've seen a lot of people not do very well because they depend on daddy's money but I think it's important that the next generation know how to receive it properly. Wealthy people stay wealthy because they plan, generational wealth, which some people are opposed to. My job is to achieve it, but it's all about planning, man. Having a plan, making sure you make, the least amount of poor decisions you can.
Have you ever made a really bad decision? I have.
Yeah. Personally, like in my personal life, in 2008, 2009, there was a bill that passed. It was the Debt Forgiveness Act. I think George W. Bush was responsible for that, where you could walk away from your house when they were upside down.
Yeah. I remember that was happening.
Yeah. So I did that, and it was absolutely dumb.
You walked away from your house?
Yeah. I had bought a house in Anthem. I think I paid $600,000 for it. Became worth like $1.2 million, 2 years later. And then it went down to like $250,000. Well, this thing isn't going to double in value in the next, over my lifetime. I'm going to get out. So I walked away from it. It was absolutely dumb. And because what it did is it destroyed my credit. And then I missed this amazing boom in real estate because I couldn't qualify for a house no matter what my income. I couldn't qualify for a house because I had a foreclosure technically.
Wow.
So even though
there's a lot of people like that.
It was dumb. Listen,
but now, how much do you think that house is worth now?
Yeah, it's over $1 million again, for sure. And it was we were in the Anthem Country Club, beautiful home, and it was just dumb. Like, so sometimes I say, do as I say, not as I do, but
What's it take 7 years to fix that?
It did. To clear the credit. Yeah. I mean, I think by year 4 or 5, I was able to buy a house again,
Wow, man.
But it ruined 4 or 5 years of amazing rebound in the real estate market, one of the greatest real estate booms in history here. And, I thought I was going to be priced out, and, we figured it out.
2 restaurants during COVID. Lost my butt.
Yeah, that's was it before COVID or?
It was right before. It was like, I don't even know.
That's the worst. That's the worst timing.
It was terrible.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we're all going to go through those. I mean, the important thing is that you learn from them. I think wealthy people, the mistakes they make, they tend to, have this FOMO where, hey, I've got a friend that he's investing in Bitcoin or investing in this or that, and they want to participate because their smart friend, and then they get scammed, right? Just don't make dumb mistakes, right?
I don't understand that Bitcoin stuff. Are you in that? Is that good?
We're not. We're not. I mean, we use Bitcoin, an ETF from iShares inside what we call our unconstrained portfolio, which is an unlimited risk portfolio, but it's not. We don't trade Bitcoin itself. I have some concerns over Bitcoin and, the future of it and so forth. But listen, I'm willing to miss that party in order to not risk my client's future.
Yeah, I like that. I like that phrase. Let me jumping around again. So your mom, she must be beside herself when she sees how successful you are. You said the story of your dad. Where's your brother in all this now?
So it's interesting. So first of all, I love my brother dearly. He's a great guy. Our families went into weird directions because my brother, who married an amazing woman, Monique, and this is even funnier. My brother was the most racist human being on the planet. I remember having a girl that came to the house, gorgeous girl named Nicole Williams. She was beautiful, mixed black and white girl. And he used the N-word. What is she doing in my house? What is... And oh my gosh, right? And in fact, I just saw Nicole at our high school reunion that I sponsored. Oh my gosh, it was a whole nother story.
But he's half Mexican?
Well, listen, people aren't rational, right?
Right.
Well, ironically, he ends up marrying a black girl, which has 4 amazing, beautiful kids. But he converted to Jehovah's Witness. And the interesting thing is it's been difficult for holidays, for example. So they don't get together for holidays, and it's a hard thing. So it creates a cultural divide a bit, at least with that one religion, and we're as open as possible. Like we try to be as accepting, but sometimes it's just very difficult,
Where does he live?
San Diego.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Temecula.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He's a great guy. He works his butt off. He's worked for the same company forever. He worked for a company, Waxy Sanitary Supply out of San Diego, which the original owners, Charles Wax and Randy Wax, amazing human beings.
I've heard those names before.
Yeah.
Let me shift gears again.
Yeah.
So last time we had lunch, I don't know, it was a couple months ago?
Yeah.
A couple months ago.
Where you ate my last piece of steak?
You look like much more shredded than you did at that lunch to me.
Well, thank you for saying that. It's jiu-jitsu, number one. So Thank you to Gracie Baja Scottsdale. I'm training for this, I have to hit a weight class, or if I'm 222 pounds, if you go a pound over, you have to go into the unlimited class.
And those guys are tougher?
Well, I just got smoked by one. I literally decided to go into the open class and fought a 300-pound guy. And yeah, I mean, if I showed you my leg, it's just.
Well, you did. You sent me a picture.
Oh, yeah.
That was brutal.
Crazy, right?
Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah. So after winning my class, I said, I'm going for the open class back to back, and didn't end so well for me. But
so you're 222 right now. And where do you have to be?
222, like right there. Like it's right.
When do you weigh in? When's your next match?
I was scheduled to fight in Austin in a few weeks, couple weeks, in July 11th, I think it was, and one in LA that same week. But I'm injured. The injury to my shin will not be fixable in 2 weeks.
Didn't you just start jiu-jitsu?
A couple years ago.
Now you're flying all over the country doing it?
Man, listen, we spend that's my thing. It's what I do. Here's the one thing about jiu-jitsu. This is why I love jiu-jitsu. All of the financial pressures, all the family pressures, everything going on in your life, it all turns off. When you're doing jiu-jitsu, if you are not focused on that moment, you're going to get choked out or submitted. Right. And literally there's nothing else. The company, the business, nothing, personalities, it all disappears.
I went through a phase like that with boxing.
Yeah.
I would get in the ring and it felt so good to get the shit kicked out of me, if that makes any sense.
Fight Club, man.
Right. I mean, I would get punched in it was crazy, but I felt so good.
Yeah, I love it, man. In fact, I'm actually going to start doing some striking down. This guy named Tim Welch owns a place called Red Hawk Academy. It's where Sugar Sean O'Malley trains.
That guy's badass.
So I trained with those guys, and I was actually on his podcast and had a great time with them. I'm going to start doing some striking too.
Is it common though? Like you just did it 2 years ago? I mean, is jiu-jitsu? Because I remember my kids being in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And my older son kept doing it for a while, but he never did it in a tournament. Like you just getting into it.
Yeah.
I mean, you're a couple years in, right? So
I'm 53 years old on the 4th of July. So it's probably not so normal for someone my age to find it so late.
But you're pretty good at it?
I mean, here's the thing. What I realize is that I train with some of the best people in the world, and I get my butt kicked every single day, literally. So when I say I'm good at it, no, I'm terrible. And
have you won?
Well, I win all the tournaments I fight in, but I'm fighting people my age, my belt class. I'm a blue belt. So how about this? I'm the best of the old bad guys, right? I mean, so I think that's why I also wanted to do unlimited so that I can kind of push the limits of, can I beat this beast here? That's just incredible. And I mean, you saw the picture. I mean, the guy is a 300-pound guy.
I saw the video the other day where you were like showing your abs and I was like, dang, Stu, dang.
Well, I've got a trip. I'm taking the trip of a lifetime here in a couple weeks to Greece. And I just remember 3 years ago, I was in Italy and I saw pictures and I was just fat slob, out of shape. I just never want those pictures to appear again. So I'm not going to be the out of shape guy for this trip because there's some pretty cool people on this trip that,
Oh, you're going on a trip with a group of people, not just your family?
Yeah, there's a couple, pretty famous people on this who are renting a boat, a yacht in Greece, and they may be doing some Instagram stuff, and I do not want to be the fat guy in the background. Dude. So
it's not about jiu-jitsu. It's about this trip.
Listen, but listen, in college, I used to do the same thing. Even after crew was over, I used to train for football season. Well, I didn't play football, but I knew my shirt was going to be off in the stand, so I didn't want to be the out of shape guy. So I've always got to have a purpose, like a training. Like it's hard for me just to sit on a treadmill. Like I have to have some sort of like thing I'm training for, or I just can't do it.
When you said you were watching you on the Whoop, you look at all the information.
Yeah.
What was your sleep score last night? What do you look at? Are you looking at your steps too? Are you looking
at? So yeah, it's been really bad lately. I don't care about steps much because I know you do. We've been talking about that a little bit, and it's affecting my Whoop age, not caring about steps, but
my Whoop age is down.
Is it?
It's a good.
Yeah, mine's not. I'm still a couple years.
I'm VO2 max. What's your VO2 max? You
know, I don't look at that.
It's on the Whoop.
I know. It's not something
I'm obsessed with it.
Are you?
Yeah, because the higher it is, the better it is for you.
That's all I need is another metric to look at.
That's an important one, I think. That's the one. Because I don't look at it almost anything else.
It is a big sign of longevity too. And it's something that I know. After this, I'm going to start obsessing on VO2 max.
I did this TV show, it hasn't come out yet. And it was this longevity show. It's on NBC. I did one episode. And it was a VO2 max thing. And I was like, whatever, I don't care. And when he told me my VO2 max, I was like, fuck this. And it was like a 34. And it said I was.
Is that good or bad?
Terrible.
Okay.
And so it was like I was like at the age of like 70 or something like that.
Oh yeah.
So I've been working out nonstop, doing my cardio, and I've gotten out of 40, which says it's excellent for my age.
Well, so let's be clear. During my last fight in jiu-jitsu, I was winning 6-0 and I ran out of gas with a minute left. The biggest choke in history. I wonder if I should post that on my Instagram page just so people can look at this monster beating me. I lost the open class, but I won my weight division. But I was up 6-0 and then he got 7 points in 1 minute, which was he just took advantage of me. I mean, he was trying to break my leg. That's why it's all purple. But I ran out of gas.
So he was trying to hurt you, wasn't just trying to win?
He says he wasn't, but I mean, you don't have a tibial contusion just because someone's rolling around with you. That takes intention, right?
Wait, jump around to other stuff because when we had that lunch, that's when we started talking about peptides.
Okay.
And that's when you said something to me about a certain peptide that you were taking that blew my freaking mind. I'd only heard about one other person taking this peptide, and he had the same story as you. He had his body fat down to like 9%, 10%.
Retatrutide.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I went and I got it.
How's it been?
It's unbelievable.
It's crazy, right?
I dropped about 25 pounds. Yeah. My body fat is now at 12.0, the lowest I've ever been. I mean, it might even be lower. It was 2 weeks ago when last time I did my body fat measured. So it's like my visceral fat's going away. My pants don't fit. Went from the first time from a 2X, now I'm an XL.
Same.
It's crazy.
Same. Yeah. So,
but it's because of you.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Or I'm sorry if it backfires. But
great.
Listen, peptides are crazy. Like it is, it's kind of expensive, not super bad for Retta if that's all you're doing, but it's one of those, rabbit holes again, right? Like once you go down one, you're like, oh my gosh, look at the changes that are happening in my body. And I'm a big fan of maxing out everything I can, right? Yeah. I want my numbers to be good. My body fat, I think right now I'm on 10% on the in body. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I do.
So, here's the problem. I have a big bet. My business partner has a $50,000 bet with me that I can't get below 10%. Well, I had 10% on in body. I went and had a DEXA scan. I was at 14. So I was really disappointed.
I'm doing the DEXA in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. Let me know how that goes. Let me know the difference there.
Were you on the in body because there's a couple levels of in body. Which in body?
It's the high level one at the gym. It's the one
where you got to hold the things out and do they take the thing and they do the centerpiece on you? Because I
haven't seen that one.
You hold at my doctor's office. You get on it. You got to wipe your feet.
Yeah.
You get on the thing in your underwear or naked, and you hold these things out. You hold these arms out, and then they have this thing. It's like a Y scope, and they measure all this stuff. So it's a little bit more precise.
That. Oh, maybe not.
A little bit more precise, but
I'll have to tell my guys at Source Performance to step up their in-body game.
But I will tell you from what I've been learning that if you can see your veins and you can see your veins, your body fat's low. I bet you're not full. Well, DEXA doesn't screw around either. Did you drink a lot of water? I would do every.
I don't even know how to cheat on that test. I will, just to be able to show
Where'd
it.
you do the DEXA?
Somewhere in Scottsdale, I think it was like DEXA-Fit or something like that.
I think I've heard of that.
But I was too big for the machine, so they had to like take two different, or they did like
Throw that out.
Yeah. Well, did you fit on your machine?
I haven't done it yet. I'm doing it in 2 weeks on the DEXA.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a big enough one for me because of my height and size.
Well, that doesn't make sense. How tall are you?
I think we're about the same. I'm like 6'2", 6'3".
Yeah. I'll find out because I know I'm the place I'm going to's got to have. Well,
find out because they literally cut off my arm and replicated my arm in this. They glued another arm digitally on. So
that's weird. So what are you doing? You still doing Retta?
Yeah. It's a maintenance dose.
Like, what's your dose?
I'm uncomfortable with your questions now,
really?
but no, I'm just kidding. I don't care.
I'm sorry.
I don't care. I
asked you ahead of time.
No, I don't care. I'm just messing with you.
I can tell you what I take.
Yeah, no, it's because what's weird is it feels like, hey, are people going to say you're cheating? Are you,
who cares?
Listen,
I don't think it's cheating.
Well, I mean, your life is so public here. No, listen, Retta is really good. I think I went up too high, and it's what I told you before.
Right.
You just don't need to, right?
Right.
I think I was at 0.2, which is 20 units. I think that was 2 milligrams.
Okay.
Per week.
Okay.
Honestly,
that's a lot, I think.
I think that's relatively. What gets high is the tests were all done at like 8, 9 milligrams.
I don't know the language on the syringe. So little lines.
Units.
So the little lines, you're doing 20 of those little lines.
It depends what kind of syringe you're talking about,
Does
right?
it?
Yeah. So if it's like an insulin one,
yeah.
Each major line is 10 units.
Right. Okay. So each major line.
Yeah.
So the little lines are the ones below. So this is very unscientific.
I want to see what your lines are first. But
so whatever the major line is, let's say what's one major line? Is that a
10?
What's that?
10.
I know, but what do you call that?
1 milligram.
That's a milligram. So you're doing 2 of those.
Yes.
Okay.
I
do 1 milligram.
Yeah.
And I know how I did this. I do 1 on a Saturday. And then on Sunday, I do 0.5 milligram.
Okay, so there's an argument that that's the bad way, and here's
really?
why. So what Retta is known for is that it's a triple agonist. So Ozempic was kind of the leader of GLP-1s. They hit one receptor. Retta hits 3. It hits the GLP-1, the GIP, I think it is, and then glucagon.
Right.
Glucagon is the one that needs that bigger single pulse. So there's an argument that, yes, you'll get less side effects, but you're missing out on a huge part of the benefits.
If you do a bigger dose.
But you need to do the bigger dose. Okay. All of the tests, all the trials, and it is one of the most, I think they're in 3rd stage trials right now. The problem is going to be when Big Pharma gets attached to this, they're trying to lock down all of these peptides because you can get them for nothing. You can spend a couple $100 a month, or is this going to be the drug of the wealthy, right? Where you're going to have to spend a couple $1,000s a month,
right?
Because there's a financial pain threshold where you're just not going to do it anymore, right?
No, right.
And I think we're starting to see Big Pharma litigate for control of these peptides.
And I know that's happening because they are going to release the BPC and the TB500 sometime.
Well, that's off the controlled list. I know, RFK Jr. is being very instrumental in making peptides available to the public, but in a better way, because all of them right now, here's the dirty secret. All of them are coming from China. They're all, even if you're going to a compounding pharmacy, they're all getting them from China, and who knows? Right. I think we need to domesticate our sourcing better here.
Right.
On everything, on all medicines.
You're right.
Right. I mean, do you remember in COVID don't you remember the ship that they had turn around that had all the masks on it? Like, I don't know if you remember that or not, but we needed these masks, and China's like, nope, not for you. They're for us.
Right.
We can't source ourselves. That's a problem. So when they control that much medicine, that much of our supply, it's a a big issue.
So why do I have to go up to do it all one time? What's the bad thing about breaking a shot up on a Saturday and a Sunday?
It's the glucagon part of it. Now, listen, I am not a scientist. I'm not an expert.
Right. No, neither am I. So none of this.
I'm a biohacking, geek that tries to figure it out.
Right.
Most of the research and all of the trials have been on single dosing. Like there has been nothing that says that we know that you'll have less side effects, right? Some of the side effects are like heartburn, even faster heart, but it accelerates your metabolism so much that, it starts to, mess with your sleep.
Well, it sounds like it'd be better than to break it up.
For side effects, but the results are dramatically, less impressive.
So what does glucagon do? So if I take it, what's it going to do?
Yeah, listen, I'm crossing into an area I am not. I'd be making it up at this point.
I do that every day. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Your audience is going to be like, that guy's an idiot. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
The stuff I'm taking when I do it, like so far, I think it's been working for me. So I can't imagine would I make it more powerful? I have had zero side effects, I think.
Yeah, well, because you're at a really low dose, which is good. And you want to always do the lowest dose until you start plateauing, and then you can creep it up a little bit and so forth. But I
do YouTube medicine. I'm just watching all these YouTube shorts and I'm like,
that's it. The problem is all of these influencers on Instagram that are giving you advice, none of them have, they may be like chiropractors or like, most of them aren't like medical doctors. So,
right. No, that's like me right now. If you're watching this, I don't know what I'm talking about. But in fact, the reason I do 2 doses is because I did it the first week. It was a couple weeks I was doing it. I didn't feel it. I didn't know. I was like, this isn't working. I'm still eating. And then what happened was I got on the scale and I was down 20 pounds and I was like, what the heck? So I remember I did a dose on a Saturday and I binged that night. I was like, it's not working. I got to take more tomorrow.
Yeah, but see, I think that's where people, fail is that it's not like a GLP-1 like Ozempic where all you're trying to do is stop your hunger pangs, right? It has those 2 other features, the GIP and glucagon, whatever. It has to do with mobilizing visceral fat.
Right.
I think.
I think you're right.
So if you get distracted by the hunger, it's a red herring. That'll say, hey, let's just go up to what the trials, because the trials were at like 8 milligrams.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I would never do that. No. I did 2 weeks before my tournament, I did 6 milligrams and it was just like, couldn't sleep at night. Your heart starts racing.
Was that when your heart rate was like 150?
No, I was down at like 3 there. Yeah. My heart rate.
No, when I let you one day, you told me your heart rate. I was like, that's not good, dude.
Yeah.
I was like concerned for you.
My resting heart rate is not as good as the condition I'm in. I think probably because of some of this stuff, but there's some other stuff, another peptide, not just Retta, where I'm doing MOTS-C, M-O-T-S-C.
Yeah, that's the next one I'm going to try.
Yeah. So that is, what they call an exercise mimetic. So it makes your body believe you're exercising even when you're not. So from a conditioning perspective, it helps. It's a metabolic booster, all of that stuff. So
I take something similar to that called Sloop. Have you heard of Sloop?
I do. S-L-U-P.
S-L-U-U-P. Sloop. Yeah.
Yep.
It's a pill. So
there's an injectable version of it too.
I take a pill in the morning, and then I take these amino.
Oh, you're right. I do have that in the pill form also.
So you're taking that too?
Yeah. No,
as well as MOTS-C.
Along with MOTS-C.
Yeah, I think MOTS-C is the next thing. And then I started doing this. What's the copper thing?
GHKCU.
Yeah, but I do that as a cream. I don't do it as an injection.
Yeah. So it's supposed to help with collagen formation, and
I don't know. That's just part of it.
I don't know, man.
And then I do.
I'm a cocktail now.
NAD.
I didn't notice any benefits from NAD.
I just keep doing. I do 1 shot once a week.
Yeah.
And then I started doing the give me the glutathione, a shot of glutathione too.
I'll do those when I need a infusion.
Yeah, like a drip. You mean like a vitamin drip?
Yeah.
I'm getting a drip today after this interview.
Yeah,
and they'll put glutathione. But I started working with this peptide company, and they send me all these peptides in a package at my house once a month, except for the Retta. You get the Retta somewhere else.
Yeah.
And
do they not have Retta?
No, because this company is like legit.
Oh, you've got a shady Retta dealer here?
Yeah,
because it's not
like wherever you get your Retta, that's not legit.
No, I get mine prescribed by a doctor.
No freaking way.
Yeah, 100%.
Because it's through the trial. It's a research peptide now, right?
It's not. It's one of those gray area like peptides. So no, mine is prescribed by a doctor.
Mine is through a friend. but he's the second guy.
The guy down the street.
Yeah, well, there's two guys I ever talked to that knew were on Reddit, you and him.
Yeah.
And it turns out he owns part of this peptide company, and he was shredded. So I was like, let me do it. So I buy it from him.
Taking advice from the guy at the gym. Come on. Yeah. Here's the thing. I think that most of it's all coming from the same source in China. Or people are relabeling, repackaging it. The Retta is the one thing that, I'm prescribed that by a doctor. So, I'm a big fan of having the best medical care on the planet. I'm lucky to have great doctors that have given me their cell phone, and, if something's wrong, I get pretty quick response. But
you got to meet my doctor. I think you'd like my doctor. She's a badass.
I think mine's shadier than yours.
No, mine. This is my doctor. I have this amazing doctor. In fact,
family doctor.
Yeah, my concierge doctor, Carrie Bordinko. She's got the hyperbaric chambers. She's got the gym.
That's a different thing.
I would bet you that 50% of your extremely high-end clients go to her.
Really?
Yeah, you'd be amazed who's walking out of that place.
That's interesting. Crazy. Yeah, once again, it's that rabbit hole of, I have the whole, superhuman protocol in my ups. It doesn't even fit. I have a really small house relatively, right? And I've got this area with like stretching machines and, EWAT. Do you have EWAT? The exercise with oxygen therapy. It's part of the.
I want to get one of those.
I have one of those.
You do?
It dramatic. If you want to expand VO2 max, that's
Is that the bike with the tank? You watch the tank go down. You got that?
I have that at the house.
That's sick.
And so I did that for the World Championships last year in training. So after getting gassed in my last fight, that'll never happen to me again. Like
you should do the hyperbaric try that a few times. That'll blow your mind, man.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I've never done it.
You said it's tank, not like there's a couple different levels of hyperbaric. Shit has like 4, like the best of the best. Like I was there today and there was a Major League Baseball pitcher coming out of there that was injured. There's Super Bowl champions in there all the time. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, I'll have to visit.
It's unbelievable. But the EWAT thing, how was that like 10 grand?
Maybe $5,000-$6,000. But then I have a separate bike. You call it assault bike.
Oh, I got one of those too.
Yeah,
I do that every day.
So I do it with high intensity interval training, right? And I haven't done it in a while, but it's going to be part of my protocol here. In the World Championships for jiu-jitsu, for the masters, for the old people, is first week of September. So about a month out when I get back from Greece, because we're doing Greece and then Santorini and then Ibiza. So if I survive that trip with these animals that I'm knowing with here, then
it's going to be a do before and after picture. See if I'm going to let you go on that trip. How long is the trip?
So 6 days on the boat, 3 days in Santorini, 3 days in Ibiza. It's 2 weeks.
Ibiza's crazy. I was too afraid to go to Ibiza.
Yeah. So one of the people we're going with is really good, or he's friends with John Summit, the DJ, like the biggest DJ in the world.
Yeah.
So we're like guests of this guy. So we have all kinds of crazy access. Yeah.
Whoa.
I did listen. I'm just along for the ride. It's not me. No one knows who I am.
You're up that Retta.
It's I don't know if video is going to be allowed of it on this trip here, but we've got this text message thread of all the people going, and it is the greatest thread.
I can't wait to see the Instagram post and post. Wait, tell me about the assault bike workout.
Yeah.
Hey, what is it? What do you do? Because I have
1 minute on, 2 off, because I go 100% until
you do 1 minute on full blast.
A full blast. So it's till death. I mean, you feel like dying.
20 seconds. Yeah, to get out.
Because you have to be able to push your limits, right? Beyond that. Yeah. So but remember from crew, I was not that would
the ergometers
30 years ago. But my gosh, I used to get my heartbeat up to 220 beats a minute, and be able to hold. And so now, I don't remember what I get it to on interval, but it is until you're at the verge of passing out. And then the oxygen just gets oxygen into parts of your body, your connective tissues, things that are really hard to get oxygen to.
Wait, so the EWAT thing is connected to the bike? Or it's some ukulele machine. You have but you have so do you have to purchase oxygen every once in a while, or is it hooked?
No, it's an oxygen generator. That's the purpose of the bag. So nothing can keep up with your oxygen demand on this bike. I mean, it's crazy. And what you do is it empties the bag. It takes about an hour to fill the bag, and then 10 minutes or so to empty it. You could buy a second generator, and you might be able to last 13, 14 minutes on there. But
I have an oxygen machine that I have a CPAP.
Yeah.
Because I have it hooked up to my CPAP, so I get obviously the United States realizing but I won't put this is real thing. Just plug it in, right?
Yeah, but this is a powerful one. I mean, this is a thing that's like you'll be there for 3 days trying to fill up that bag with your CPAP. So yeah, you can I think 10.
You sent me the link. I wouldn't be
You're just addicted, aren't you?
I'm addicted to getting as healthy as I can.
Yeah.
Then your VO2 max must be fantastic if you do that. I mean, but you should take a look at it later.
Maybe I'll take a look. I don't know. I know I'm disappointed though with what I saw last week in the tournament when I gassed out. I ran out of oxygen.
Yeah, but you're going to live a long time. Like maybe you always ass kicked doing jiu-jitsu, but the longevity program is pretty dialed in.
I'm going to say, I'm not going to live very long if I keep fighting 300-pound men.
Yeah, no, I'd get out of that. All right, so let's say someone wants to look at your company and hire you or talk to your services. Where do they go? Asset preservation?
Yeah, so you can go to assetpreservation.com or apsitaxes.com. We're
API taxes?
APSI taxes.
And what about the TV shows? Where are they? What channels are they running?
So we're on, it depends on what market you're in. Here in Phoenix, if you look Saturday mornings at 9 a.m., we're on CBS. We're on Sunday evenings at 6:30, but the Phoenix Suns took my spot there and on Channel 3, Easy Family Free. We're on NBC. We're all over the place. If you are at home on a Saturday or Sunday morning and you turn your diet on your television show, you'll see the Asset Preservation Hour. That's us.
You get a whole hour?
It's a half hour, but I call it the hour. So maybe I need to buy a couple of spots. And here's the thing. I mean, with the TV show, I pay to be on TV. I don't get paid. So it's a different business model, but the
communicating results, I would assume,
it's just tremendous. Honestly, it's people that wouldn't go to like seminars or other marketing things, and you get to know us, right? You get to have hey, do I like this guy? Do I not? Do I want to deal with this guy? No, because here's the truth: if you don't like me on TV, you're not going to like me in person, right? I mean, listen, there is no surprise with who you are, right? You are pretty genuine with who you are on the radio. My trying to be, and I think being genuine is pretty detectable. You can sense it, right? So, I am who I am, and take it, leave it.
I think you're solid.
Not the right fit for everybody.
I think you're solid. Thanks for jumping on my podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Was this good? Did you have a good time? I had a good time.
Awesome, man.
I had a good time. I'm
going to get my chops busted, my balls busted here about all the peptide use. I've been telling people I've just been dieting down naturally here. So thanks for the great.
Everybody's on peptides, bro. Everybody. All right. Thanks, Stewart.
Okay, so welcome to our podcast. This is a little bit different today because this podcast is a spin-off of our radio show.